Thank you, Mark, and good morning, and thank you for coming today. My name's Tom Hardinger. I'm a professional engineer, and as Mark mentioned, I am a supervisor for the Department of Transportation Bureau of Structures, covering our inspection and maintenance staff for the northern half of the state, which includes this area. Jim McDowell, sitting next to me, he is an engineering specialist and inspector for us, concentrating mainly on the lift bridge inspections, maintenance, and operations. And as Mark alluded to, Jim was on site performing an inspection and found the issue on the Oregon-Jackson Bridge. We'll be talking about that, and Jim will be talking about that a little more specifically when he speaks. For spelling purposes, my name's Tom Hardinger, last name Hardinger, and Jim McDowell. McDowell is McDowell. We also have some reps from the city of Oshkosh and Winnebago County with us today. Again, thank you for coming and attending today. As Mark mentioned at the start, we are going to be providing a fact sheet when we're finished, and we will also have a question answer time when we're finished. So with that, I just want to start and make it clear, WSDOT's number one objective is safety. Safety of the bridge and the traveling public, the pedestrians, and marine traffic, as well as our workers that have to work on the bridge. The issue we found on the Oregon-Jackson Bridge was found during one of our routine inspections, and the inspections are a crucial part of maintaining our infrastructure. I just want to highlight that. Our bridge inspections allow us to identify issues or potential issues, so moving forward we can address them. That's exactly what happened here at Oregon-Jackson. Jim was doing his normal routine inspection of the mechanical parts of that structure, found an issue, and which we'll be discussing in a little more detail in a little bit. But he felt the vibration, he traced it down. With his skill set, his knowledge, he knew we had an issue, and that's kind of started everything in motion here. But again, it points back to the importance of what we do on the inspection side of our business at the department. They're very important. This really highlights the importance of our inspections. So we're here today because we finished our initial assessment of the conditions we found. We have a plan in place, and a repair plan is in the works, and we want to make sure everybody's aware of that, and we'll be talking about that. We're cautiously optimistic we can get this done in 9 weeks. And I say that just because as we get into this, there is some manufacturing of some parts for the bridge that have to be done, and most of that time is in the manufacturing process, and with the we have to deal with supply chain issues and whatnot. So our manufacturers have indicated they need a solid 8 weeks to prepare and manufacture the parts that we need, and we anticipate about a week to replace them and install them back into the bridge. If that timeline varies, the department will make an announcement to that effect. The department would certainly, at this point, like to thank the city of Oshkosh, the county, Winnebago County, local law enforcement for helping us during this closure. We understand it's an inconvenience, but we certainly appreciate all the efforts on their part. We also like to thank the Coast Guard because we are over the Fox River. We needed to coordinate and communicate with those folks, and we want to just thank them for their messages out to the local marinas. We want to thank the Oshkosh Chamber here for hosting this meeting today. It's been a challenging process to get the evaluation done and a plan in place. A lot of folks were involved in working on this, and we'll be explaining the repair and the replacement in a little bit. So I just want to do a little recap, a review of what happened on May 25th, that's 3 weeks ago. In the afternoon, approximately 2:30, Jim was performing his inspection, felt a vibration, and kind of an abnormal vibration. So he recognized that. He pinpointed it to a gearbox, and shortly after that discovery, we realized that was a critical component to the operation of the bridge, the lifting and the lowering of the bridge. So that evening of the 25th, we closed the bridge, okay? Then the following day, we worked with the Coast Guard because one of the important features is the Fox River and the marine traffic that goes through that bridge. We came up with a plan to pretty much put it in the condition that it is today. We could lift the north span. We were comfortable. We checked the gears on that north leaf, and they didn't have any appearance of an issue like we were seeing on the south span. So we put that plan in motion on the 26th, and so that effectively closed the bridge to traffic and pedestrian traffic. That's how it sits today, and it will remain that way until we complete our repairs. Since the 26th, the department, we've been working hard. We've had to bring in not only our own staff engineers, structure engineers, we collaborated with a bunch of different folks, some outside engineers in the private industry, manufacturers, supply chain reps to put our plan together. It just takes a little bit of time to get this all put together. The issue that we found, and we were going to show it on the pictures, is we have an issue with gears in a gearbox, and that's the issue that we have to address and repair. I just want to make another point that the repairs that are needed are for the operational purposes of the bridge. Structurally, the bridge is sound, okay? Sound and safe. We're confident in that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn it over to Jim. He's going to kind of walk us through what he did, how he found the issues that we're discussing, and then and what we're going to be doing moving forward. So here you go, Jim.
Okay. Thanks, Tom, and everybody here. So every year I do a mechanical inspection on this bridge, and the best way to do that mechanical inspection, because it's, you're evaluating at all the movable parts of this bridge, all the gears. So I ride the bridge up while the bridge tender moves the bridge, and while I do that, I listen for anything that would be abnormal, vibration, just kind of like your car. When something doesn't sound right, more than likely there's a problem with it. And so I noticed that on this side that there was a little more vibration, a little more noise than what normal, because every bridge does make noise. So I basically traced it, back into the gearbox, put my hand on the gearbox to see where it was coming from, and lo and behold, that's where that vibration was coming from. So with that, at that point, there's an inspection portal, a plate that I took off to look inside the gearbox. Essentially, right here, this is what I found. Now, if you look at the upper right-hand corner, that is the near side gearbox. That gearbox is in good shape. You can see the oil is around the pinion shaft, which is the small one up in front there. The next pictures are of the failed side gearbox, basically. And it didn't, you know, up to this point, we could still move it in an emergency, but as you can see, that picture with the tape on it, you know, that gear is roughly 1.5 inches wide, and you only have about 3/4 of an inch left of that gear. And the problem with these herringbone gears is that if we get any lateral movement from side to side and it's forced one way or the other, it takes those teeth out of time, and the next thing you know, you don't have teeth on your gear. So essentially, that's what I found. You know, verifying that, you know, we did have a problem. You can see the gear that gear drives is in bad condition. It's chewed up. So at that point, I made the decision that we needed to stop operating, called the Coast Guard, and shut the bridge down to marine and roadway traffic. You know, going forward, we went to the manufacturer of the gearbox, which is Falk. Regal Rexnord bought out Falk, and now they still do work on gearboxes, and they'll repair our gearbox. It just took some time to get the estimate. They did get an estimate back to us, so as soon as we got an estimate, we could move forward on removing the gearbox. So with the help of Winnebago County, we took the gearbox out. We got it down to Falk on Tuesday, and so, you know, we hope from this point forward, in 8 weeks, they'll have our gearbox ready to go from that point. And what they're going to do to fix this is they're going to, the gearbox is made in halves. So they're going to take the top half off, take the gears out. They're going to replace these gears that are in trouble here, make new ones, and then we're going to put all new bearings and seals to make sure the rest of it is in good condition. Reason why it happened, we're not exactly sure. They're going to do an analysis on the failure and what happened. They can tell us what the first point of failure was so we can get to the bottom of this. Once we have that, we'll make a determination on whether or not we're going to do anything with the other side. As you can see, the other side looks in good condition, so we're not sure if this is just an anomaly or if there's more to it than that. So we'll definitely look into that. As soon as we get the gearbox back from Falk, once they're done with it, we'll have to get it reinstalled, get it aligned, and hook it back up to the shafts in the bridge. We'll do some testing to make sure that it's good to go, and hopefully, you know, in the 9-week time frame, we'll be able to get all this taken care of. So that's the fix. We're fairly confident that, you know, we don't have a problem. The nice thing about, you know, a double leaf bascule is that we can open one leaf up so we can still continue navigation traffic, which is really important to the area. And hopefully in 9 weeks we can get this bridge back open for both navigation and roadway traffic. So the cost estimate of this by the time we're done is in the $120,000 range. Most of that is in, like Tom described, is actually manufacturing these gears. Every gearbox is pretty specific to a bridge. It's not an off-the-shelf type of situation. So that's where some of the cost comes in. And that, I'd like to turn it back to Tom, and he can go over a few more things.
Okay, Jim, thank you. I just want to point out again, our inspection program pointed to this issue. So I just want to, you know, sound that out as that function of what we do really helped us in this situation. We discovered the issue, then we could identify what was going on and develop a repair plan. We also, in light of this bridge and this gearbox, we did check several other bridges, lift bridges in the area that have similar gearboxes, we did not find any issues in those gearboxes. So we believe this is an isolated incident to this specific gearbox. Like Jim mentioned, we inspected the far side gearbox, and you see the pictures there. It's in really good shape. So we're confident that gearbox is in pretty good shape, moving ahead. As I wind down here, I just want to, take a moment here. A lot of people were involved in the last 3 weeks getting us to the point where we are. We did our initial review, we put a plan together, and we're moving forward, implementing that plan to get this bridge back in service and open for vehicle traffic and the marine traffic. So it's definitely a collaborative approach between the Department of Transportation, Bureau of Structures, our regional folks here in the Green Bay office helping us, some external engineers with expertise in the field of lift bridges, our private contractors that we reached out to for their expertise. I just want to, take a moment and thank everyone involved to get us to the point we are today. I'm definitely grateful for what Jim has provided for us, his experience, his knowledge of these lift bridges are instrumental to the continual operation to keep them in service. And, lastly, I just want to, thank the city of Oshkosh, the community. This is a hardship for you to have one of your bridges down, and we recognize that, but I just appreciate the patience and the understanding from the community, the local businesses, et cetera, for us to move forward with our plan to get this bridge back in operation. That's about all I have to have put together. We are here, and I'll open this up for questions and or comments from the group. Yes.
I have a question for Jim.
Okay.
First of all, how long have you been performing inspections on the bridges?
So I've been inspecting the lift bridges for the last 21 years. We have anywhere between 12 and 13 lift bridges. We just had one taken down, the Racine Street Bridge in Menasha, but all the state-owned lift bridges I've inspected for roughly the last 20 years.
Okay. In that case, we know that Jackson Oregon Street Bridge is kind of nearing the end of its lifespan. The council discussed it last night, and also the state was the decision. But I guess I was wondering, in your opinion, did you kind of see something like this coming through, or just kind of nearing the end of its lifespan?
So there's things that do wear down. We keep a close eye on the condition of the steel because of all the salt that we put on the. These gearboxes typically outlast the bridge. So to say that the reason is because it's old. Racine Street was of the same vintage, and those gearboxes were still okay. So I can't really point to that for this being the problem. The newer bridges are built a little more robust, a little more security factor with them, but this bridge has provided us with 66 years of life, probably well over 100,000 lifts. So it's given us, everything that we've asked out of it. I think this is just more of an anomaly that, just popped up. Yeah.
When was the last time you inspected this one?
So these get done yearly. We look at, we pop these covers off, we look at them. I really don't think that this was here last year. There could have been the start of something that, we did not see, but I think that really this showed up within the last year.
You mentioned that you checked out some other bridges in the area that were lift bridges. How many in the area did you inspect since this kind of went awry?
So there are 2 other bridges that we, kind of targeted that, could have a potential of this. And The other bridge is actually in Oshkosh here, and that's the Congress Street Bridge. So we went through both of those gearboxes pretty thoroughly, drained all the oil out, looked for anything. We do test the oil, and that is a good indication of what's going on inside to try and, help us pinpoint what's going on. And then the other bridge is actually up in Sturgeon Bay, the Bayview Bridge.
And then, one last question, you mentioned that, you sent the gearbox off and for, not only to repair, but also kind of do an analysis on that. Is that, at the end of the 8 weeks when they hopefully have it fixed, will that analysis kind of be available so you can see if it was, a one-time issue or multiple things?
Yeah, good question. So we're hoping that we have that analysis before, and the reason being is we're going to try and, if this gearbox had a problem, we want to make sure we don't have a problem with the other side. Even though it looks good, we don't know for sure what created this issue yet until we get that analysis back. Once we get that analysis back, then we can make a determination if we should send this gearbox off, and we'd like to do that in the off-season when we don't have issues. We can leave the bridge down once the rivers froze, and we can deal with that a little easier. Yep, it's FALK.
And that's also on the fact sheet.
Can you state at a cut point, give a link to cut point, what we're showing? That's the thing.
So inside, just for a good background, this is a picture through the inspection plate of the good gearbox, which is on the near side. And so on the other side, that's where these other three pictures come from. So I kind of, we zoomed in and caught, the gear. This picture is this side of the other box. So this is one shaft, and you've got two gears on it that drive two more gears, and the train moves on. So we're showing here basically that shaft and the fact that, you've got half of the teeth missing on the outside edge of both gears, which is common to that shaft.
Other questions?
One thing I'd like to add, over those years, Winnebago County Highway Department has really been, essential in, everything that we do with these lift bridges. They provide a lot of support, they provide our bridge tenders, and they do an excellent job. And also thanks to the city for, whenever we have a problem, the bridge is down and we have to close it, the city police department comes in, helps out, and they do an excellent job. So thank you both for that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for coming here today.